Hello, everyone, and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. How are you all doing today? Hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I have nothing but chaos in my life, and his name is Edge, and he is just the most chaotic thing in the world today. Um, just stop, just stop, just stop, just. So, how is everyone doing? I hope you're having a good time. Hello, Nelsie. Hello, Micro. I hope you are doing well today. We got things to do. I hear you have a disgusting beer. I was told by Pasta earlier that it is gross. Apparently it is see-through and all that. Spent my afternoon planning out a new computer with Geo. That's awesome. Congrats. I hope you get something cool and fun. I spent my morning cuddled up with the cats. It was great. It was fun. I loved it. Just all sorts of fun times were had. It's just that, and I have to come to this, which is fine, but also they are adorable. Now Edge is just being chaos. I hope everyone had a really good holiday break and doing all that stuff, family and whatnots as these go. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to 2020 part 3. Are we in the trilogy now? Are we in part 3 now? Yeah, we had yeah, we're in part 3, right? I think that's what we're on. 2020 part 2, 2020 part 3. Yeah. It's a trilogy. Worst trilogy ever. So, welcome to it. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a fun time just doing whatever you don't do for Christmas. I was in San Diego with a friend and had an absolute blast. Got to see the new Spider-Man movie. That was so much fun. Great. Also watched Encanto. That I have opinions about, but they're not because they're well-based opinions, or because I was very high when I watched it. So I have very odd opinions about it. But it seemed like a lot of fun. I have to rewatch it again sober and see if I like it. It seems I've been getting a lot of memes and stuff about it. It seems like a lot of fun. It seems like a really well thought out movie. Like there's a lot of cool details in the animation and whatnots that just seem to be there. So that's kind of cool. But I can't really give you a review because I haven't watched it sober enough to know if it's good or not. We'll get there eventually, probably not. So yeah, that's about it. New Year's was kind of lazy, didn't do too much. Be careful what you say. Your roommate might kill you. Yeah, she might. I have to watch it. I'll have to watch it. Um, yeah, New Year's was just boring. I guess just kind of here. I had a couple of close contacts with COVID, so I got a little bit of a fright there for a second. And then died of something. I don't know what, but I kind of slept for like 3 days straight. That was fun. And really didn't do much for New Year's. Didn't do anything for New Year's Eve. Just kind of stayed home, chilled out with the cats, watched TV, went to bed at like 1 o'clock or something. So I did stay up. Right side. That was about it though. I hope everyone else had a nice, safe New Year's. I'm trying to avoid going out and doing things just because reasons that you need to do that, but who knows how long that'll last before I'm just like, I need to go get a beer at the bar. Give it about a week. I don't do New Year's resolutions, so there's really nothing there. I am trying to be better at things, but I don't do resolutions. They always fail anyway. I have a bunch of projects I need to work on, all the things and stuff. Speaking of projects, we should go into housekeeping because speaking of projects, so I'm not gonna promise anything, but I did go back to I rewatched. I am trying my best. I promise the best, and that's sometimes all you can ask for. I rewatched my video on the last couple of proofs by Dubé, which I think I was at one, if I remember right, from 2 days ago. From 2 days ago, my last proof was 119 to 122, if I remember right. So I rewatched that. I re-downloaded Dubé's 200 proofs. You are nothing but no. Do not eat liars. Jesus fuck. Why are you like this? Who made you like this? So I am working on them. I just gotta sit down and actually nothing but so I am gonna start working on those a little bit more now, and try to get them done. So that's one thing that I'm trying to work on. And then I got a bunch of like D&D projects that I'm working on. I want to move my camera so you can see the amount of chaos that is happening in front of me right now. Is little demon of a cat that I have is just destroying my desk, but I don't think the camera can keep up with him, honestly. You do have to start, son of a bitch. This is the life I chose. I was like, I want a kitten. I want a kitten. I want a black kitten. I bet a black kitten will be nice. No, he is nothing but a terror. Nothing but a terror. But yes, you do have to start working on them, but I am getting there. I kind of wanted to start working on them yesterday, but then I fell asleep, as has been the case for me for most of the last week. I don't know what I have. Look at this. Look at this. This is my life now. He's gonna electrocute himself because he's got no brains in there. No brains. No brains in there at all. Come here, buddy. Where'd you go? He's adorable. So I wanted to, but then I fell asleep, which again has been my really thing going forward. Has been I've been sleepy. But I will try today. I don't have much to do today besides going shopping for what are the things that you need? Nail clippers, so that someone can stop. God, you're such a look at this asshole. Oh, now you're being cute. I put the camera in front. No, now he's being empty head, nothing in there, no thoughts in okay. Yeah, good luck. I'm gonna burrito the shit out of him, and then it's gonna be a little burrito, and then I'm gonna try to clip his nails because I am covered in scratches. Hello, Insider. How are you? Welcome to the show. So yeah, so that's kind of the thing. That was a really long way to say I'm working on the debate proofs again because I don't want to finish them. We're really close. We really are in the home stretch. So I do want to get through them and whatnot. So that's kind of it. Besides that, the next thing we got is Beer of the Week. I, again, do not have a label sign screen thing for it. Because I wanted to have you all help me choose. So we still have our giant pack of beer, which just fell over everywhere. You know what? We're just going to go with the one that fell out because it looks good. So this one fell out of the box while I was trying to move it up here. It is an IPA. Ooh, Hellcat. Look at that. How appropriate. How appropriate. Hellcat. So we're going to go with Hellcat. Because that fell out of the thing. This is again by Brewdog, which, Ohio? Was that it? I think it was Ohio. Yeah, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. It is, 6.0. Ooh, it's got a thing on it. It's actually got like a description. 6.0 alcohol. It's got a really good label. I like that. There's an Iron Maiden thing. It looks like it's actually with like probably done with them because they're like using their font and shit in their name, so I don't think you can like legally just make a beer for it. Look at that. I don't think you can just like do that. Get off. Oh my goodness. What have you done now? This is okay. So it says on it, Iron Maiden and Brewdog unite to launch Hellcat, a feisty Indian Pale Lager. Ooh, Indian Pale Lager. Where hops and malts collide. Hellcat rages with a citrus forward flavor with a no less aggressive malty backbone. The result is a hazy gold IPL, not an IPA. Sorry, I thought it was an IPA, but it's an IPL lager. With an epically complex balance brewed in the U.S., Hellcat joins the global Trooper family of beers crafted by Maiden vocalist and beer aficionado Bruce Dickinson. So yeah, I guess it is a thing they did together. So that's kind of neat. I don't know much Iron Maiden, so I don't think I can like be like, does this actually work with like their thing, like with their brand? I don't know. They just. Sorry, every time I like do that, it's because Edge has decided to climb up my leg, and it hurts because he's got claws. Wait, I'm gonna have to kick him out. He's gonna have to go to kitty jail soon because he's currently biting my arm and it hurts. So give me I'm gonna throw this little bastard out. No, you're going to kitty jail. You are going to kitty jail, which is anywhere but this room, honestly. Kitty jail. Enjoy being outside the room. Okay. Oh, But so let's give it a try. Like I said, I don't really know much about the band besides that they exist. So who knows if it's any good? Who knows if it's bad? I don't know. Their music, or if it's comparable to their music, or if it's anything to do with their music besides their name. Let's see what kind of color we get from it. Fruit forward, which means it's probably like a micro beer. That he, that is disgustingly pea water colored. Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not like against pea water beer. It's just that I prefer dark beers. That's all. Like it's not a racist thing. Look at that. Okay, it's very clear. It's very clear. I don't know why I expected it to be darker. I don't, because Iron Maiden, I feel like Iron Maiden should be like, you know, whatever, right? Like Iron Maiden. I don't if I know. Hey Evan, how are you? Okay. It smells hoppy as hell. Like that's I will tell you that. Like I can smell hops. So if nothing else, it smells like hops. So yay. I do like hoppy beers. Some of the like hazy beers, I forget who does hazy beers, but I love hazy beers. They're like good hops in there. Sorry, so good. Ooh, that is good. That is delicious. Oh, I love you. Okay. Oh, that is so good. I like you. Oh, that is nice. Not gonna like that is really nice. I don't think I've been this excited for a beer in a while. Okay, 10 out of 10. I am in love with this one already. That is super good. Mm. Oh, that is delicious. Mm. Okay. I'm not sure if it's just that I can't taste the fruits in it, or if it's not supposed to be that fruit forward. Um, a citrus flavored. Okay, citrus. I could see like I can taste the orangey, like something orangey, right? That's good. Oh, okay. It's really crisp. Um, it's really refreshing. Like really crisp, refreshing. The citrus is there for sure. Get like a nice little orange to it. Mm. Mm. Ooh, it's that malt. Oh, that malt in the back, like the malty backbone that they said in their super adjective filled thing. Like it's really great because you get like this, like you get the citrus, right? You get like the orangey citrus like on your tongue, and then it's like it sits there, and then the malt just like sweeps over it afterwards, and oh, this is really good. Like it just covers your tongue, and it's all like warm and fuzzy. It's like the only way I could like it's a nice warm fuzzy like it is nice and citrusy and refreshing. It's almost like drinking like a lemonade or something like that, like a without any sugar, just like lemonade. That is, but lemonade without sugar. Um, and then having like a nice warm blanket thrown on top of it. That's the best way I can describe it. It is really good. I love it. This is fantastic. Wow. Mm. All right, that is fantastic. I love this one. So that's a good one. Good. Okay, so that's our beer of the week. Well, one of the beers of the week. We'll probably get through a second one because we usually do. So, Brew Dogs, Iron Maiden Hellcat, absolutely recommend. I'm going to have to like tweet it at them how fucking great this shit is. I love it. All right. So, with that said, that's about all the housekeeping and beer of the week that I got. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Which takes us to video menus. So, what do we want to choose today? We got ourselves a few different options. Some of them are leftovers from a while ago. Some of them are new. So, we got Immigration by ARTV. I think this is a white guy explaining immigration to a not white guy. Which I'm sure doesn't end. It's supposed to be like a I think it's supposed to be, which I doubt it. It's supposed to be like a liberal conservative having a conversation. I don't know how liberal is, and I know how conservative the conservative is because he's from ARTV. Interview with WHO, who by Random or Cam. I don't even remember what that was. That was like early 2020 pandemic garbage too. So it might be early 2020 pandemic garbage still. Secular Sharia by Computing Forever. I don't remember what that one is specifically, but it sounds stupid, and it's from Computing Forever, so probably racism, probably more. Ruining Dark Souls by Ackman. Ackman just complaining about how you can't. What's the thing? You can't do. You can't put difficulty sliders in Dark Souls because reasons, and he's gonna get one. I think that's what it is. Didn't we watch the RR one? Yeah, we did. No longer on here. We did. Did we watch an Secular Sharia? No, we watched the RR one was cancel. I like atheist cancel cultures. Oh, that was one that I actually want to like make like a full video for, or at least a quickie for, because I watched the previous one to the one that we watched, and it's very much like cancel culture is run rampant in the atheist community because they call out sometimes, not always, ever, honestly. Sometimes, every once in a while, they call out someone for being a bigot, and RR has an issue with it because, of course, he does, because he's one of the people who gets called out for being a bigot. Surprise, surprise. And then so that one's that one. Gender Neutral Toys by Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro complaining about the fact that he says that I think if I remember right, there's like a mandate in California about having gender neutral oil aisles. I don't know how much of a mandate, like I don't know what that is, so I look it up over here. And Ben Shapiro being Ben Shapiro and being transphobic as hell, because of course he is. Star Wars is Problematic by Doomcock. This one's actually interesting. I sat down and watched the whole video, and there's like an article attached, and we can find the article, I think, pretty easily. And it's this like Scientific America opinion letter talking about, and it's an opinion, right? So already, like I know it's Scientific America, but it's an opinion letter, so yeah, like it's an opinion. It doesn't like it's an opinion. But they talk about kind of some of the more problematic issues with Jedi and things like that, which, hey, fair enough. Like, I think you should be able to, like, criticize the work that you like, because sometimes it's got issues, and that's okay. I mean, it's not, but it's okay to criticize it. No one's gonna die. And then the Antichrist Ritual by Marty Leeds, because I love me some Marty Leeds, and I have not talked about Marty Leeds in forever, and I miss that man. Marty Leeds, I miss you so much. I wish you were here, because you are such a fun guy to chat with, because you are just silly as hell. Scientific internet is not a high standard. It's so okay. Yes, but also no. Like, yes, it's not a high standard, but for Americans, it is. Like Americans see it as because they're idiots. See it as like a scientific journal, so it's not. But people actually give it like a lot of credit, as if it's like as if it is like some sort of scientific journal rather than like it's not a peer-reviewed journal, but people, because it's a scientific mirror, think that it is. And so I think that was the issue that Doomcock is having with it, is like, this peer-reviewed journal is having issues with whatever, is having issues with Star Wars now and woke and whatever, right? Because that's what they all say. So yes. So either way, those are kind of our options. We'll get Cloudbot here to tell us what you would like to do. Go Cloudbot. So remember, if you would like to vote, do an upside down I, vote number. That's how that works. I remember. I saw Cloudbot here earlier, so hopefully he'll still show up again. Yeah. I used to read, like, when I was in high school, I absolutely loved reading Scientific America. I'd have to read, I haven't read it since I was in high school, so I really don't know what they're like. Again, I don't know, they seem like pop science. They have gone downhill a lot recently. Okay, they seem like pop science, which is, I have a, so I like the idea of pop science. Like, I like the idea of pop science. That doesn't necessarily. I like the idea of getting people like your average Joe to read, right? To become more science literate. I like that idea. However, pop science also goes into has its own issues, not because it lacks the rigor, but because sometimes it promotes shit. Like, I know that, like, Elon Musk is pop science, and, like, fucking Elon Musk is a fucking idiot who solves traffic by creating traffic underground because he doesn't believe in trains. And so, like, he's considered pop science, right? Even things like a lot of what Neil deGrasse Tyson says a lot of the times are a little, like, he's pop science, and he says not necessarily wrong things, but, like, unnecessarily pedantic shit, which is like, okay, you're supposed to be, like, a science communicator, not a pedantic asshole all the time. Like, shit like that. But of course, there's always good, like, pop science, like Bill Nye talk about good pop, and there's other pop scientists. What's the name? There's Physics Girl, or I forget what her name is. She's got some pretty good pop science in her. Of course, Mythbusters had some pretty good pop science. So it can be good. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's like claiming that making it possible for developing countries to use GM crops developed in the first world is colonialism. Making it possible for developing countries. Oh, that's an interesting one. So this one so maybe the Star Wars one might be interesting. Yeah, Physics Girl. There we go. So I don't know. You might not like the because, I mean, again, a lot of it is very. It's not science in the, like, science thing, so it just brings up some of the issues with some of the concepts of being a Jedi, which, I mean, fair enough. Some of them are kind of, like, you don't think about them until you think about them, because I think we like to think about Jedi as, like, I vote zero. Oh no, because we like to think about Jedi as, like, good guys, bad guys kind of thing, and then it's not always, like, black and white, right? Like, sometimes it can be, sometimes it does need to be, whatchamacallit, you need to break down the issues. Like, it doesn't always have to be black and white. That's okay. We're good at rubbishing the Strategic Defense Initiative back in the 80s. Oh, were they? Okay. I was not reading them in the 80s. I was reading them in the early 2000s. Yeah, early 2000s. That was, again, in high school. So that was really the last time I picked up a scientific, I think. But no, it was high school. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. You guys might not like that one, but we got to vote for it. So maybe, and we only have, like, a few people watching, so that might be it. Which is fine. We can do both Ben Shapiro and Star Wars. The article itself might be actually more worth watching than the Doomcock video, to be completely fair with you all, because Doomcock is Doomcock, and, you know, he's just a white little all the time. Like, that's just it. Would be fun to see a Star Wars story from the Grey Jedi's perspective. Which ones are the Grey Jedis? I don't know my Star Wars lore that well. So which ones are those? Because I'd probably be fun. I do like all the lore from, like, the novels and stuff. Like, I don't know much of it, but, like, I enjoy watching. True neutral. I do enjoy watching everyone break down Jedi lore, because it is really interesting and fast stuff. And again, I think what the problem, not the problem, but what the Doomcock's problem is that the Jedi are more complex than just, like, they're the heroes. Use both in light powers. Ooh, okay, that does seem interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so the Jedi can be more complex. I think that, like, Doomcock's also one of those people who, like, looks at Star Wars and says, like, oh, like, Star Wars, the original Star Wars weren't political, and, like, says that with a straight face without seeing, like, the very obvious fascist overtones of Star Wars. Not even undertones, like, overtones of Star Wars, right? 5 and 6 won, so we'll get to talk about both of them better. So he seems like that kind of person anyway. I wouldn't, like, he's gonna be whiny about anything. He can't look at things, he's stupid masses. I mean, also that. Okay, so we ended up, well, let's start with number 5, which is Gender Neutral Toys by Ben Shapiro. We might have to look, like I said, we might have to look up what
people have decided that institutions.
we might have to look up what the actual like rules or law, like I don't, it seems weird that there's a law or something for this. Like I'm pretty sure there isn't. I'm pretty sure it's just Ben Shapiro being a whiny little bitch, because that's what Ben Shapiro does. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's really genuinely just that, more than anything. Okay, so I think this is the wrong one. Like I'm pretty sure that somebody suggested like, hey, we should maybe have gender neutral toy aisles, and Ben Shapiro lost his shit because that's what he does, right? Wouldn't want it any other way. For Mr. Ben, there he is. Good old Ben Shapiro. Original Star Wars had a do as we say enemy. The good guys rebelling against tyranny wasn't political. You like all of Star what? Sorry, what? Original Star Wars had a do as we say enemy. Yes, that's called fascism. Like that's literally their thing, is fascism. They're based off of Nazis. Like all of their overtones are Nazi. Like that's who they are. Like their uniforms. Like look at their uniforms. The Oh, you missed the what the fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bud. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I just, it's I'm sorry. It really is like I see these fucking comments all the time of people being like, Star Wars isn't political, Blade Runner isn't political, fucking Starship Troopers isn't political, RoboCop was not political beforehand. Like, why are all these new movies political and shit without like? And people say it. We like people say that without batting an eye. Like, right, they say it with such a straight face that I genuinely thought you did. So I apologize. I'm so sorry. I should have seen that because I thought you were saying it with a straight face. But no, yes, Star Wars was political, is political. That's okay. Don't, yes. Also, the standards for reading need to be like lowered. I have an English degree, so my reading skills are down here. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so with that said, this is Ben Shapiro complaining about toy aisles. I want to like watch a little bit, and then we're gonna probably try to find some information about whether this is true or not. I get the feeling that it's not. I never know. Like I never know with Ben Shapiro is he's. I always know that he's making it up, but I want to find out like what the bit of like not truth, but where it's like solidly. It's got to have a foundation in reality somewhere, even if it's like very tenuous. It's got to have it there. Okay.
Don't matter because they're the only people on Earth who matter.
Did that happen? Okay, sorry. Did that play? I'm not even sure if that's playing. I gotta find out. There's the VLC one.
Sure. There you can see this philosophy carried out in policy, not just in terms. I was
laughing. I'm sorry, Ben Shapiro. I was laughing.
People have decided that institutions don't matter because they're the only people on Earth who matter. You can see this philosophy carried out in policy, not just in terms of social policy and sort of approach to social issues, but the left-wing belief that exceptions ought to make the rules because, after all, the rules aren't great for everyone. That belief system ends with some pretty pathetic ramifications for all of human society. So, for example...
Okay, so before let's. So I think I get the core. I think I get the core of what Ben Shapiro is going to argue here, right? Which is that like. You can't make rules for the exception, right? You got to make rules for the majority, not the minority. because hero. So you can't make rules for the minority. You have to make them for the majority, which is a very it's a very interesting take because it is wrong on so many levels. Like, the minorities, like it really very like he's very clearly like I don't care about. What hardships or what negative effects the rules might have for the minorities, because we need to make rules for the majorities. which is super, like, it's not a way to approach at all remotely to approach a just system in any way, shape, or form. Like, you should make, like, you can make rules for the minority. Like, there's really not anything in there, any reason why you can't drop rules for make rules for the minority of people, especially when, like, a lot of those rules don't necessarily affect anyone else. So Ben Shapiro is and I know this because he bitches out Dave Rubin for it all the time, like, is against gay marriage, right? And that, I think, for him would be one of those, like, rules that are made for the minority and not the majority of people, right? We changed the rule. We changed the rules for the minority, which is that we allowed gay marriage, against the will of the majority, which are straight. But those changes in rules didn't affect anybody in any, like, the only people that affected were gay couples who wanted to get married, which is which is a minority of people, but that's all that it affected. It didn't affect the majority in any way, shape, or form. It didn't destroy marriage. Remember all those predictions that we had about it destroying marriage and how marriage would go down the toilet and whatnots? It didn't do that. So why would you not want that? Like, what I really want to know what the negative effects would be about making rules this way that makes Ben Shapiro so iffy about trying to do it, I guess, is my very long-winded way of saying. Fuck, Ben Shapiro is a total idiot. He truly is a total idiot. Like, there's I can find nothing redeeming about Ben Shapiro, like, ever. Like, no matter what, I can find nothing redeeming about him. He is, God, incredibly homophobic, incredibly racist, incredibly transphobic. Like, he's just a horrible human being. Like, there's nothing at all that's good about him. Like, I don't, like, I hate to be the kind of person who's this negative. Like, I'm trying to get, it's not working, but I'm trying. But, like, he really adds nothing positive to the world. Like, he really doesn't. He adds nothing good. He's just this cranky Jewish guy who's just be angry at everything all the time for no good reason. Besides, I shouldn't say no good reason. He's got a good reason for being cranky, which is that he makes money off of it. So that's good for him. Bad for everyone else, I guess. He's such a scumbag. Like, he really is bottom. To be fair, Danish are yummy. I know somebody who would know the answer to that, but I'm not gonna ask her. To be fair, Benjamin knows a lot about toys. He did used to work at Santa's workshop after he is like. Americans drop the U in most words, which makes so confusing. It is confusing. It's equality for all, not equality for most. Yes. Screw equality. Screw it. Why do we want it? We don't need it. The foam in the beer is really weird. It's like whipped egg whites inconsistency. That is weird. It's like the same argument Cons made about Canada legalizing weed. Yes, no, 100%. I mean, it's the same argument that conservatives make about legalizing weed in the States. Like, what are we at? Like 20 states? Something. Where's the high number? I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm taking up numbers at this point. How many states have legalized weed? It's a lot. 18. Oh, I was close at the 20. Right, 18 states have legalized marijuana in the United States. The recreational use of marijuana. Sorry, I should say that. Which is great. I love that. I love the fact that that's happening. As somebody who just recently went to California and had a blast, I love that. But like, there really is no argument against it. Like, they're just like, the only argument is that this isn't the way that we do, which is conservatives, right? Like, that's the whole conservative mindset, is conserve the system the way that it is. And that's it. Like, that's the only reason to do it. And to change it doesn't hurt anybody at all remotely. Like, you have 18 states now in the union that have, like, they didn't fall into the ocean because of their sins. Like, their economies haven't been destroyed. There's a bit of an argument to be made about how like legalizing a pot in some of these states, and a lot of these states probably, is that they've gentrified. I'm going to turn this light on to see me a little bit better. Is that it's like the gentrification of a lot of these places has increased because of it, and there's definitely like there's no justice for the people who were, a lot of them being minorities because drug war on drugs and stuff, right? Like there's a lot to be said about how legalizing it in a lot of these states hasn't benefited them, which it should. Like we should really be like, get the fuck out of there. We should call cannabis instead of marijuana less racist. Got it. Like it's like there are reasons, like there are people still in jail for doing what is now legal in that state, and that's in such a huge, what's the word for it, misstep in our justice system, right? That we have people in prison, in jail, and like going through these systems now that have had their entire lives ruined for pot, and that's stupid. Like there's really no reason for that. It sucks, but of course it should be legal, and there's no negative to it. Like all the predictions, like same with gay marriage, all the predictions about what would happen to these states, what would happen to these people if we legalized cannabis, have not come true. And that's because they were never true to begin with, and people were just fear-mongering. Ben Shapiro, same way, making a whole bunch of predictions about how this is going to ruin the status quo or whatever. It's not. It never has. It never will, because he's just a reactionary who needs to figure out a way to make people afraid of change. Okay, so there's that on
California has now mandated that every big box store in California, this kicked in the new year, every big toy store is required to create a gender-neutral toy section.
Okay, so this is something I wanted to look up. So, mandate to create a gender. That's not how you spell gender. Gender neutral. Hate the word neutral. Makes no goddamn sense. Like, spelling it is stupid. Why is it like that? I don't know. Isle, California. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get this screen up so that more than just. Oh, there is something. So maybe again, I didn't expect it to like not be any basis in reality, but I didn't think it would be super specific. So let's find out here. There it is. Okay, so let's get you and you. Oh, I want to scoot you over. I want to scoot you over. There we go. Scoot you over. So, oh, where is the right key for this? There it is. Okay. So we have a couple of articles. California first state to mandate gender neutral toy section by USA Today, which is probably where we'll start. That seems like a fine place. USA Today never lied to anybody. Go away. I don't want to subscribe to whatever not. They do have some sort of weird. Sacramento, California has become the first. Sacramento, California is where the store is from. California has become the first state to say large department store must display products like toys and toothbrushes in gender neutral ways. Okay, so already probably a bit of an exaggeration in gender neutral ways. Which and from this article, as far as I can tell, it seems to be about like not that big of a deal, which I didn't expect it to. Hot take. Ooh, we got hot takes already. Gosh. All alcoholics should switch to cannabis. Less domestic violence and car accidents, liver damage. No, you're not wrong. All alcoholics should. If we allow alcohol, we can allow weed. Oh, certainly, 100%. There's no reason why. They talk about it around here like it causes you to break into your loved one's home, steal and go into pot, and magically turns into super alcohol in your lungs. Oh yeah, no. It's super weird. People think like people definitely bought into reefer madness. Like 100%. Like they saw that and they were like, that is how it works. That's how the cannabis works. It really doesn't. As somebody who does a lot, I sleep. I get super sleepy. Like that's the thing that I don't get. Like I just want to sit down in my cuddly blanket and giggle. Like that's all I want to do. I don't even want to leave my goddamn apartment. Let alone go commit a crime. Like that is so much energy that I do not have. I cannot imagine. Like God, that is so much energy. I can't know. Like if I can muster the energy to order pizza, I have won. That's all you get out of me. Wouldn't a single aisle for toys save space in stores? I see nothing bad with it. There's really nothing bad. It also doesn't seem to be anything to do with aisles. Like there needs to be like a section. There needs to be a section of it needs to be displayed. Not even a section. It needs to be displayed in a gender neutral. It doesn't there's nothing about a toy aisle in here. We'll read more about it. There'll probably be. So yeah, should alcohol be prescribed? I don't know. So as somebody who very much so partakes in recreational drinking, I would hate that. On the other hand, as somebody who has seen quite a few people go through alcoholism, I've seen it. I've been there. It is super rough. I do agree with you on that part. Like, I think it probably would. Like, I think access to alcohol is probably a little bit too easy at the. Well, okay, maybe not. I don't know. So now, as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, a lot of it also like a lot of alcohol is. I don't know. I'm gonna sit down and do some studies. I take it back. I'm gonna take back my opinion because I'm caught between like having a system we like normalize. Like I'm a big fan, big proponent and fan of Marty. I also understand that teaching someone with alcoholism moderation is like I get that. So I'm kind of stuck in this like I wish we could just teach people to drink alcohol moderately or just enjoy it for like the flavor of it or like because like I enjoy it unlike pot, which I enjoy for the effects and like I don't sit around and be like this one tastes great. Like I don't think it tastes very good with. That's just me, right? I don't like usually have it because I want to like sit there and enjoy the different flavors of it. And I know there's like a whole culture. I've known lots of people do that, but it's not my thing, right? Like I don't sit there and try to figure out like what the best flavor is, what the best combination of it is. This. On the other hand, I do that with beer and wine a whole lot, and even spirits, right? Like I love to taste it. I love to try different things. I like to see what new combinations people come up with. And I think in and of itself is a good experience that I personally enjoy quite a bit. So I would hate to have that taken away. But I also understand that probably for the greater good, it might not be a bad idea to take it away because alcoholism is very rampant and that sucks. I don't know like what kind of system you could set up to be like only these people could have it. Like only, like you have to pass a test. I don't know, have the right genetics. I don't know what it is to be like you can have alcohol. I don't know what that is. There might be that's a conversation, and that's a conversation that I don't know enough about to have. So yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to take the opposite argument that U.S. drinking culture would improve if you weren't so overly restrictive about drinking. That's part of why I think that like potentially that might not be like I don't know how much of like our drinking culture comes from the fact that drinking is incredibly stigmatized and incredibly like you gotta do it in certain ways, certain places, but again like there's so many people and it's so bad. I don't know. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna leave it at that and do some research because I don't know if I'm talking from a place of enough knowledge on the subject to make a nice, educated like commentary on it. So I think I'm gonna kind of, those are my concerns, and I'm gonna have to do some research. I have access to a lot of peer-reviewed research, so I'll probably sit around and do some peer review, and figure it out, see what I think. I don't know if countries that have, like, I have to look into some of the statistics of countries that have more restrictive alcohol policies, if they do better. I feel like they don't. Even states, right? Like, is it Utah? Like Utah, you can only buy alcohol from like government dispensaries, and they're very regulated, right? I think that's Utah, and I don't know if their alcoholism is any less or higher. That's a good. I think that's Utah, so that might be a good like a case study. I have to look at it. I don't live in the U.S., but my understanding to drink alcohol is normalized. To a certain degree, like it is that you drink alcohol, but to like, so there's a lot of it. It's a weird attitude. Like, it is normalized, but it's a very weird attitude where, like, you have to, it's okay to drink, but you have to do it behind closed doors, if that makes sense. Like, there's a very, I lived in quite a few places where like drinking in public is okay, and that's been wonderful. I think Nebraska is one, like where I live now, where I can go and like I can go to the park. Like we do concerts in the summers, and I can go to the concert and have a bottle of wine, sit around, drink, and all that. Nobody bats an eye on it. It's fine. Like, and I'm out in a park, right, doing it. It's fine. Nobody cares. I've also been in other places where it's not. I've had to. I'll have to research needs to happen. I keep talking, but I need to do research. So I'm gonna look into Utah, because like I said, I think it's Utah that has a very, very strict regulation. I think it is, because that's where the, so I have to look at it. Okay, but that's all we have gone on tangent. Hey, we got derailed. That happens around here. Okay, but let's keep reading about this new California law. Oh yeah, so toothbrushes, because toothbrushes is why do you need gendered toothbrushes? Fucking, you stick them in your mouth, it's fine. I'm gonna move on from that sentence. It went for LGBT advocates who say that pink and blue hues of traditional marketing methods pressure children to conform to gender stereotypes. It's not wrong. I don't think this is also, I'm gonna finish this reading this. No, I'm not. Okay, so this is one of those things, right, that I find really interesting, because Ben Shapiro was one of these, like, freedom for everybody, let everybody do what they want, right? Like, that's the thing, right? Like, freedom for everybody. This is a policy that, like, cannabis, like gay marriage, doesn't hurt anybody. Like, I don't know what the negative effects are. I'm sure that Ben Shapiro will tell us his dystopian nightmare what the negative effects are, but there's nothing wrong. No one's gonna get hurt, right? And so the only thing that can happen, the only thing that really comes from this, is that now children have more freedom to be who they want to be, right? Like, there's no pressure, there's no reason to necessarily stick to boy toys, girl toys, boy toothbrushes, whatever. You can do what you want, be what you want. And you would think that someone like Ben Shapiro would be all for that, would be all for, like, people having more freedom to be the kind of person that they want to be or feel like they need to be. Like, that's, yeah, like, that sounds like a good, to me, it sounds like a good thing. To let people be themselves sounds like a good thing. And it sounds like something that Ben Shapiro should be for, because he's all for freedom and personal liberty and all that. Like, this sounds like more personal liberty. You're removing a store's ability to like socially mess with you, right? Like, that's one less way. What was a social engineer around you? That sounds like a good thing. But he's, of course, has an issue because he's transphobic. But I personally cannot see anything wrong with it. So who knows? Freedom for everyone, but not for minorities. I hate, yeah. Okay. New law signed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom does not outlaw traditional boys and girls sections at department stores. Again, okay, so you can still have it. So this is even like you can still gender toy aisles. You can still gender toys. That's not going away. So this is even like this is more like even at the like the pronoun thing that conservatives get all wound up about, where you go fill out your application and you now get to say he, him, she, her, non-binary or whatever, like, or gender, male, female, non-binary, and like all that has happened is there's a new option added, so you have more options, and conservatives feel the need to like freak out about that. Like you're getting more options, more freedoms, not less. But conservatives are going to freak out about it. So that's an interesting little tidbit there, that it's not even that they're taking away traditional toy aisles, you're just adding a new toy aisle. That's funny. And not even a toy aisle, like I don't know what to say, but that's hilarious. Okay. Instead it says a large stores must have a gender neutral section to display a reasonable selection of items, regardless of whether they have been traditionally marketed for either girls or boys. And so you have to have a new toy aisle. Oh no. Like, okay, this does not include clothes. The law only applies to toys and childcare items, which include hygiene and teething products. And it applies only to stores with at least 500 employees, meaning small businesses that are exempt. So, like, this is like Targets and Walmarts. Assemblyman Evan Lowe, a Democrat from San Jose who wrote the bill, said he is incredibly grateful to sign the new bill this year. The third time Democrats in the state legislatures have tried to pass this law. Similar bills failed in 2019 and 2020. Lowe said he was inspired by the 10-year-old girl daughter of one of his staffers who asked her mom why certain items in the store were off limits to her because she was a girl. Like, okay, from this article, and like I didn't expect what's his face to be lying about it, but from that article, none of that sounds bad. Not a single thing about that sounds like it's gonna harm anybody. Like there's no harm being done. Nothing is being taken away. Something is being added. Toy sections only need one option: Jenga blocks. You're not wrong. And honestly, I think Arsenic Alchemist, I think that's a really great idea. Why not just make toys into like what kind of toys they are? Dolls or action figures. Like they're just let's not kid ourselves. They're just dolls, which is fine. Play with dolls. No, I was gonna say you should see my office, but there's not actually none of my plastic men are in here. They're all in my bedroom. I really should move them in here. They'd be better displayed in here. Gotta work on that. To-do list. Put my plastic toys in my office like a real man. But yeah, why not do that? Why not, Legos go here? I was gonna say role play items. So, why not cosplay items, role play items, like toy, like whatever the kids, the swords, the pirate swords, the guns, the toy kitchens, those kinds of things. Like put them all in one section together. Like they're all the same thing. They're all like they're all to sit there for you to play pretend play. There we go, pretend play toys. Like these are all the pretend play toys where you have your house stuff, your construction equipment, like that. Your Legos go on here, regardless of what, if it's My Little Pony playset or a Minecraft playset. Because why would Minecraft or My Little Pony be directed at one thing? And consumerism. Yes, honestly, yes. Honestly, yes, but also, like, because of the state we're in. Like, Ben Shapiro has nothing to complain. He's just, going to. He's got nothing to complain. What a fucking weirdo. Okay, Ben Shapiro, what else you got for us?
Why? So the answer that people will give you is, well, we need a gender-neutral toy section for those kids who are having trouble with their gender identity. So what you're really saying is that gender doesn't exist. Right?
No. Okay. So, no. That's not what... Okay. Gender doesn't, right? Gender is a construct, just like so many things. It's fine. It doesn't really exist. Okay. It's okay, Ben. Breathe. But also, that's not even what the bill is saying. Like, like that's not what any of this is saying. It's like there's no like. Okay, God. There's no reason why. You can make a law. Right, you like even if we just make a law for somebody right now. Hey, this is the law on base so that people that like the whatever 1%, 2% of people. I don't even know how big the trans community. Even if it is for them to be like, hey, here's a section for you to shop in, right? And we're gonna make it mandatory because otherwise it's not gonna get done. It doesn't take away your section. It doesn't take away your gender stereotype. All it does is give people more options. With the added benefit of it doesn't just give potentially young children who have, are curious about their gender or might have some leanings to not their assigned gender. Besides helping them, it also helps it helps kids who just like want to play with other toys. I like again back to like the action figures dolls things. Like as a kid, because I grew up in a very Catholic, very gender rolled household. And that's fine or whatever, but often I wanted to play with my sister's like dolls, like her Barbies and shit. But I couldn't because obviously, boy, how dare you? And so I circumvented that by playing with my sister, so that I could bring out my action figures, my Knights of the Zodiac Goku action figure, right? And we could set up a little house, and they would live together, and I could still play doll, but in a way that was acceptable. And there's no reason to do that, right? It doesn't hurt anybody to just be like, hey, kid, you can also, like, hey, girl, you can also have access to the Power Tool toys. Hey, boy, you can also have access to the My Little Pony toys. There's no, like, nobody gets hurt by that. Again, it just gives you more options and more freedom, but you're against it. It is very false outrage. Like, there's really no reason for that. Like, it's fine. Ben Shapiro, you gotta count that.
What you're really saying is there's no such thing as biological sex or human.
Oh yeah, no, there's no, that's not what the law is. The law isn't saying that. I wish the law did say that, but the law isn't saying that. It's not saying anything remotely like that. You just want to be mad at it. So yeah, that's it. You just want to be mad.
Proclivities that are directed by biological sex or connected to it. Right? That human tendencies are not connected to sex. And anyway, we have to redefine sex across the biological spectrum to account for the fact that there are some people who feel uncomfortable. A vast, vast, vast minority. Okay, this is not how you make societal rules.
Okay, so again, back to the you don't make societal rules because a minority is uncomfortable. Okay. God, there's so much downplaying. Like, Ben Shapiro, and I know he would because he's a racist asshole. Ben Shapiro would definitely be like, I can't believe that we're going to free slaves, right, in the U.S. Like he would have right after the Civil War would have been like, I can't believe we're going to save slaves for a vast minority of people just because they are upset about the work that they have to do. Like, that is a sentence that Ben Shapiro would fucking say because he's a racist asshole. Like, yes, no, you do in fact make laws for minorities, especially if those laws don't hurt the majority in any way, shape, or form. Like, what is at all wrong with giving free, this is that thing, right, where like giving freedoms to a minority doesn't take freedoms away from you. And it's something that conservatives have a really hard time dealing with. Like, just because someone has more freedom doesn't mean you have less freedom. Like, their freedom isn't this like finite source where like there's only 9 freedom marbles to go around. And if you give the gays 2 freedom marbles, the straights only have 7 freedom marbles. Like that's not how freedom works. Like you can just make more freedom marbles and pass them out more. You don't just have 9 freedom marbles, Ben Shapiro. You can have infinite amount of freedom marbles and start passing them away, and then everyone has freedom marbles. And that's a good thing. But you post this as if doing this somehow hurts you. It doesn't. Somehow takes away your freedoms. It doesn't. It doesn't take away your freedom. I think what it takes away, and this is probably says a lot about it. It doesn't take away your freedom, but it makes it more difficult for you to be a bigot. And I don't think you like that, because of course you wouldn't, right? It makes it more difficult, right? When we normalize things like non-binary or gender neutral or trans, or not straight, right? Queer in any way. When we normalize these things, while it doesn't take anything away from you, I think what it does do is that it takes away from you the ability to be an asshole to those groups. It slowly erodes your ability. Like when we normalize that being gay is okay, it means that you can no longer make your gay jokes anymore. It means that you can no longer be bigoted against gays anymore, because it's no longer seen as a good, like it's no longer seen as a normal thing to be. And that I think is a part that you don't specifically. I think you really just don't like the fact that you don't get to be homophobic anymore or transphobic anymore. I mean, you still can, but the fact that you actually get pushback for it, and that I think is really the rights, the freedom that you lose is your freedom to be an asshole and get away with it. Which is not something you should have had ever, but you had. And you feel like you're gonna miss out. But R&D, it's special treatment. Why do gay people need to be able to get married to each other? They already have the freedom to be normal and marry the opposite sex like the rest of us. The fact that that was an argument used is just ugh. Fuck. Even that, like, if we allow gay marriage, that's more freedom for you, Ben Shapiro, to go marry somebody, like to go marry a man if you want. Like, you just got an extra freedom too. Like, you don't have to use it. You don't, like, I have a lot of freedoms that I don't use. Like, I have a freedom to own a gun. I don't own a gun. I don't have to use that freedom, and that's okay. Having gay marriage be allowed allows you to go marry another dude, which you have an own freedom. You don't have to use it, but you have it. Like, that's something more for you to have. You just got another freedom marble too. Everybody got a freedom. You're just pissed because, I don't know, it makes you feel, I don't know why you're pissed about it, that you got another freedom marble, but no one wants to marry. I don't even think his wife wants to. I don't think his wife, I think his wife lives in Canada. His wife lives in another country. All right. I heard this joke, now I'm going to tell it poorly because that's what I do. Okay, he's got a wife from another nation. I'm hilarious. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on.
Like disassembling basic ideas of the reality of male and female. That is not the way that you promote human happiness. That is the way that you promote chaos.
Chaos. All right, there, fucking. What's your fucking name, Jordan Peterson? That's how you promote chaos. Oh no! Kids might. God, can you imagine this man's mind? Like, he sees a girl playing with like toy soldiers, and he's like, chaos! Oh no! That boy is playing with a dog. Chaos! God, you're so pathetic. Like, that is the saddest shit ever, Ben. Like, that's it. Like, you legit see, you see a girl wearing blue, and you're like, oh, all the chaos that has been unleashed on my nation. Look at all this chaos. It's on my nation. Because this girl is wearing blue, and that boy is wearing pink. Chaos. Oh, God, that is so sad that God, you're so, like, you really think that's like the fact that society has lasted 2 years after COVID started, in and of itself, shows you that society is not that fragile. Wait, like, well, mostly lasted, mostly survived COVID, has mostly survived COVID. Goes to show you that society is not that fragile. Like, society didn't fall apart when COVID hit. I don't think a fucking little girl playing with a toy gun is going to unravel society and create chaos. God, you're so pathetic. All right, we're gonna listen to a little bit more, but I have ran out of beer, so we're gonna take a break in a bit. I want to listen to a little bit more of this chaos before we go on.
And once again, the left does not seem to care about the fact that male and female are pretty rigid categories biologically. And when I say pretty, I mean innately rigid categories.
Innately rigid categories, male and female. Except for the parts that they're not, right? This is my favorite part about this shit. It's like every other transphobe like says this, like it's rigid, and like every science paper written about gender and sex is like, no, it ain't. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not rigid at all, Ben. There is variability and variety in sex and gender. But you, Ben Shapiro, the scientist married to Dr. Wife. Is that like a what's her name? Dr. something from Venture Brothers. Oh, was it Dr. Wife? No, Computer Wife? Computer Wife from SpongeBob. Is that what I'm thinking about? Computer Wife from SpongeBob. Dr. Wife from Ben Shapiro. Dr. Wife is gonna tell you. Dr. Wife tells him that it's a biologically just like ingrained. Okay, Dr. Wife says so. Alright, with that said, we are Dr. Wife. We're gonna stop there for a second. We're gonna take a quick break. We can pick another beer afterwards. I'm gonna go use the restroom, take a little break, take off my sweater because now it's gotten real toasty in my office. Oh, I'm gonna strip down a little bit. Ooh, I get a little bit too casual. Say things that I regret later. So, with that said, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll see you all in a bit. Enjoy some royalty-free music, hopefully, because stop copyrighting my fucking videos, whoever you are. Some copyright-free music, some fan art, and we'll see you all in a little bit. Hello, and we're back to more of nonsense. We're gonna be done with Ben Shapiro. I think we'll move on to Doomcock, who is probably being, himself. Hello. Okay, but the office is open, which means all the chaos has now entered the apartment or the office. So great. Hello, Gio. How are you? Welcome. Thanks. I don't think I said anything. I don't think I said hi to Cellrock. Cellrock. How are you? Hello, Heat Shield. Hello, Maria. I didn't even say hi to you, Maria. I am rude. Rude asshole. But thank you all for joining me on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. We were listening to Ben Shapiro. I think we had enough Ben Shapiro, and since we had two things win the poll this afternoon, we're gonna switch over to the other one, which was a Doomcock. Talking about the Scientific America opinion article about the Jedi. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I feel like better or the better thing to do is actually to read the article rather than listen to Doomcock, because Doomcock is and not worth listening to for like half the time. So we'll see. But let's grab that video real quick. Ooh, hello. Oh, look who decided to. Well, you're a little cute there. You're gonna fall asleep? Please fall asleep, because I do not have the. No. Okay. Well, there he is. There he is, talking already. Hi, bud. Yes, I love you. So cute. Can't see him. I'll try to get this camera down. You can see the chaos that I live with. Look at this chaotic little asshole. Chaos. You're gonna electrocute yourself. Honestly, might be best if you do, so that you learn your lesson about biting cords. Stop biting cords. I want to switch over to my wireless headset. I might have to do if you're here. Bam. Okay. So this is the Doomcock. Oh no, beer. So we're switching over to beers because hello. That is a name that I am not gonna pronounce. I know that's Russian. Right? That's Russian. That looks Russian. Is that how you say it? Vun? I don't know. Is that right? Who knows? Tell me, please. So I know I'm Russian. No Russian. No, I don't. I know a little bit of Russian. So the other one that fell out of the Brewdog box of goodness is this beer called Happy Christmas. Haha. So funny. Happy Christmas. It's a festive Indian Pale Ale. It's a festive IPA. Look at that. That's hilarious. What makes you festive? You have a description. It does not have a description, unlike the other one, so that's a little sad. It's got a neat little thing. Batteries not included. Okay, that does not help at all. I don't know what's in it. Don't know what it's supposed to taste like. It's 6% alcohol, so it's about the same as the last one. I'm assuming something fruity again. Kittens are better than puppies. That is true. Look at this. And as much as awkward pasta is gonna fight this, she knows this guy, this man, is the cutest creature in this house right now. Cuter than Pumpkin, and she knows it, and I know it, and we're not gonna argue about it because it is a true fact. It is a true fact that you all see. Look at me. Woo! This right now is the cutest creature in this apartment. It has one over me and Emma, which is very impressive. To beat us both out. So so effortlessly. Oh, buddy, you're so adorable. Yes, I love how you can't see you except for like your beady little eyes. Okay, well, we're gonna try to pour out a beer and try to show it to you all with one hand because now my other arm is stuck holding this cat. Okay, so Edge is the cutest when he's not being a demon, you know. Okay, it's very clear again. You all can hear that. Look at that. Look at that beer pouring ASMR. I really gotta get like one of those ASMR microphones so you can hear. No, you're too young for beer. Get away from that. You're still a baby. Not your growth or something. I poured it wrong because I had a cat in my for a baby. Very clear, just like the last one. It's an IPA, so that's not surprising. I'm sure it'll be hoppy and fruity and whatnot. That was bad, but that was because it was mostly foam. That's my bad. So I'm gonna let it unfoam there. It's not porn spam bot, possibly viruses. Just checked a bunch of them. Be gone, bot. Be gone, bot. Bye, bot. Okay. So bye, bot. So let's see what Doomcock has to say about everything, anything, nothing. Because he likes to be upset about nothing. We will find the article that he's talking about. I think. Read it. See what we all think. I think some of it is definitely a stretch, but some of it is relevant. At the end of the day, the fact that you criticize a property or like a fandom, like something that you like, right? You're a fan of it. In and of itself isn't bad. I think. What this whole thing is. This whole thing here is that Scientific America. God, I am a mess. Explain from the top. R&D, get your shit together. Okay, this video is about Doomcock. It's from Doomcock. Talking about this article from Scientific American, opinion article, about how the Jedi are not quite as good as we think they are. They're a little problematic. They kind of, spoiler alert for the article, they talk about like colonialism and kind of some of the ableism, things like that. Some of it is a bit of a stretch, but I get it, and some of it is not. I'm also not necessarily part of the communities who these things affect, so what the fuck do I know, right? Kind of thing. But either way, it's an interesting article that brings up some interesting issues with the Jedi as a whole. That in and of itself, I don't think is wrong. Like, I don't think it's ever wrong to take a critical eye to something that you like, and that you are a fan of, and look at it from a critical lens. This is how literature works, right? You critically take. There are critical approaches to literature where you look at literature, and Star Wars is literature in its own about story, and you can approach it in that way and critically analyze it and see what is good, bad, not even good and bad about it, but like what do these characters say, do? What do they mean? What do they stand for? What is all of this? And I think that's a fine thing to do to literature of any shape or kind, right? Like video games, movies, TV shows, actual like sitting around kind of literature, short stories, anything. You can critically analyze it, figure out the different things. Sometimes you'll find that, hey, it's a little problematic, even if it's something you like. I did this with Indiana Jones like a year ago in one of my classes that I can't remember the name of. But I did that in that class where we talked a lot about we went through Indiana Jones, and there's a lot of racism in Indiana Jones, and I think a lot of it, like, that doesn't make the movie, doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. It doesn't mean, and I think that's the problem with people have when you critically analyze something. That doesn't mean you can't like it anymore, or you can't watch it anymore or anything like that. It just means that you should probably be aware that some of the things that happen in these movies, racist or ableist or whatever it is. And that's, I mean, it's not fine, but that's fine. That like it shouldn't take away from like your enjoyment of it necessarily. It just, you should be aware of them and be, hey, this stuff that I like contains this. And I don't think there's a single fandom out there that is immune to this. I don't think you could ever find something that is like 100% immune to like any people are gonna slip up, writers are gonna slip up, showrunners are gonna slip up, and it happens. We're human. Like, nobody expects perfection, but it's okay to also call it out and be like, hey, you did this. I will always point to my content as if anybody watches all. But if you were to watch all my shit, you could also see kind of that progression of like, my early content is problematic. There's some ableist slurs that get thrown around. There's some transphobia that gets thrown around, and it's not fine that it's there, but like, that doesn't mean that if you like my content now, or that my content now is bad because of the things that because I've changed. So you always have to be critical about that kind of stuff. The true villains in Star Wars is, of course, the Force itself. It causes or worsens conflicts. Yeah. Okay, so with that said, let's see what Doomcock. Oh, I didn't actually say anything about this beer, did I? What is up with this beer? It's okay. That's it. It's okay. It's an IPA. It's okay. Hoppy. Okay. Other one was better by a lot. I feel like I I should have tried those backwards. If I would have known before, and I should have tried this one first and then the other one. I think this one pales in comparison. So Hoppy Christmas, you pale in comparison to Hellcat. Hellcat was way better. You pale and you're just not as good. That's all. Okay, so with that, let's get started.
Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see.
Also, like, is cringe still a thing that I can say and sound like an adult, or is it not? Because I'm not against cosplay by any stretch of the imagination. Am I against cosplay? But damn, bud, like, like, oh, we're so 2016, like. Like, you don't have to be this way anymore, right? Like, we moved on. It's been God, I was gonna say it's been 4 years. It's been 6 years, buddy. We can move on. You don't have to dress like this anymore. But it's your stick, so you know.
Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture.
I forget that he says this. Oh God. Okay. Back to more conservative nonsense, because obviously he is, right? Like, conservative nonsense with this guy. Like, save media or whatever. Save media. Save pop culture. I don't know. Like, he's fighting a war. These guys, Ben Shapiro types, and this guy included. These kinds of content, these kinds of content, you know exactly what they're like. They're, God, like, he thinks, one, so highly of himself, two, that he's like fighting a fucking. There's no. Like, movies now are not the same that they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And there's a reason for that. And that's because there's this thing that happens, like, constantly, and it's called time. And it moves forward. And as you move forward in time, things inevitably change. That's a good thing. Like, God, I can only imagine a fucking reality. Like, the reality of these, where like media doesn't change at all. Like, media stays the same, like exactly the same year after year. Like, you can't introduce like can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine how fucking boring it would be if media hadn't changed since the 80s? Because this is what, like, these, like, nostalgia guys, right? Like, it used to be better when I was a kid in the 80s. Fucking He-Man, She-Ra people, right? Who hate the new stuff are. Like, they weren't better. It's just that shit was made for children when you were a child, and now this shit is made for children now, and you're not a child. You're grown as adult, and so it's not tailor made for you anymore. It's tailor made for children, and you're mad about that, and it's such a weird thing to be upset about. Like, this kids show is not tailor made for me, adult, and it would be, God. Can you imagine still watching, like, He-Man or even fucking Transformers? Like, not gonna lie, I didn't grow up with Transformers, because I can tell that I didn't grow up with Transformers because one day I was like, I should watch the original Transformers, right? Watch my people like this shit. Why not go watch it, right? I could not get through the first episode. I'm not gonna lie, first episode Transformers, fucking garbage. Like, put me on a spike, do not care. It is garbage. It makes no goddamn sense. Like, why are the Autobots flying? I don't like, they just go like this, and why are you flying? Your trucks. Okay. Why are, like, it makes no sense. Why do you shrink, Megatron, when you turn into a gun? Why is Starscream shooting you? What is going on? It is bad, and I don't get it, and that's okay. That doesn't mean Transformers is bad. It just means that I don't get it because I wasn't a child when it came out. But imagine watching that and still, like, nothing has changed. I just told you. So, like, imagine if that hadn't changed since Transformers came out, right? Like it had still been exactly the same. Now, I don't think we'd have, like, the good, like, we wouldn't have the new kind of stuff. Like, I think the new Transformers, the ones that came out on, I'm not sure if it's the newest ones, the ones that came out on Netflix, fucking love that shit. It was good, well animated, deeper story, darker. People get killed. The robots get killed. It really, like, Optimus isn't, like, this, like, 100% heroic dude bot. Like, he's questionable, like, very questionable. Like, they go into, spoiler alerts for Transformers something, the new one on Netflix. Like, they go into, like, the fact that he took away the Allspark from Cybertron, right, to save Cybertron, and because he did that, like, Cybertron is dying now. And he did it for the greater good, and it's really like this, like, ooh, like, that was an iffy decision, buddy. Like, you kind of destroyed a whole planet just to save it, and I'm not sure you saved it, and, like, is this war really worth it? Like, it's iffy, like, and it's good because of that. But imagine if we didn't get there because we had to be stuck in the 80s where Optimus had always had to be righteous and good and never made any, like, we never had to make any tough decisions, or not tough. Optimus never had to make any tough decisions, or we never had to sit there and question Optimus and always be like, hey, like, this is where it needs, like, this is where it always needs to be. Otherwise, dude bros in the year 2020 are going to be super upsetty spaghetti about it. Imagine that shit. I gotta check on my Instacart delivery. Pasta's gotta pick it up whenever they're wrong. I am a nerd. Shopping is in progress. Okay, so with that said, I don't remember what Doomcock was saying, so we're gonna listen to it.
Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy and thanks. Star Wars is under attack, my friends.
I'm sorry. Okay, one, I have to turn this up for myself a little bit. Quiet. Two, the fuck? Like, I've seen this before, but I still forgot that you have, like, a whole, like, it's not a real stage, right? It's a green screen, but you have a whole ass stage. Like, you really went into this, and I don't know if you're doing this ironically or not. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you are. Like, you might be. Don't know. Okay.
Enjoy and thanks. Star Wars is under attack, my friends. This time it's not Kathleen Kennedy, nor is it the Lucasfilm story group with horrible characters like a rock named Geode and a vessel named Vessel. No, this time Star Wars is being canceled by woke wankers in the mainstream media.
What? He is so in character, but his character is awful boring. It's not just that, like, okay. I'm very, okay. So he's in character, which is fine, whatever. Like, do a bit, right? Do a bit on YouTube. That's what everyone does. But I feel like he takes his bit very seriously. Like, that's the thing that gets to me. Like, this isn't a bit, like, there are people who do bits. I was gonna, like, I think, and then he doesn't do it anymore, but like Vadim doing Creationist, right? Like Creationist Cat is a bit, right? Creationist Cat is Vadim doesn't believe in the shit the Creationist Cat said. It's a bit, and it's a bit to be satirical about those kinds of people, like the kind of people who actually believe in the shit the Creationist Cat says. But this is a bit where he's playing a character, but I don't know if there's any difference between the person behind the mask and the character. Like, they feel like they're the same thing again. What does this bot gain from doing this? I can't post links, can they? They can't. I don't know what I mean, they can post like parts of the link, yes. But thank you very much for taking care of them. So yeah, it's a very odd way to approach this. I'm puzzled.
SJW crackpots who, sensing that their time draws near as more and more people see through their one-note anti-male, anti-Western civilization propaganda, and they seek to cling to relevance a little longer with outrageously stupid attacks on things the rest of us love.
I love this. Oh my god. If you type it yourself, without the spaces, it takes you terrible places. Don't do that! That's bad. Don't click on links. That's how you get viruses. What was I saying? Oh god, yeah, okay. This is, oh yeah, I remember when I first watched this, and I thought it was really funny because it's a thing that I feel like every, like, anti-SJW, anti-woke, whatever the fuck, has been saying since 2016 is that, like, the woke, the SJWs are everyone's realizing that they're full of shit and that, like, it's a whole thing, right? Like, it's a like, the SJWs have been losing this battle since 2016. Like, as far as my recollection goes, like, that's how much that, like, they've been saying, like, people like Doomcock have been saying the exact same shit. Like, they've been saying the exact same shit for 6+ years. And they've always been on the winning side of people realizing this. They've always been, like, getting, like, more and more people realizing this shit, while somehow, while the other party is losing, while the woke SJWs are losing, they are also somehow infiltrated Disney, one of the fucking giant corporation things, right? And are making movies, like, have been handed the freedom to just make woke movies. I gotta put like woke. Woke is a stupid term. Don't use it. I'm not using it. I'm using it ironically. Like, it's this like, they've been saying the same shit forever, that, like, people are realizing this, but somehow they're powerful enough that they have invaded Disney and have gotten their movies made. Because they're so powerful that they can do this, but they're also so weak and pathetic that they're losing their grasp, and people are starting to see through them. It's a great little book. Enemies are both really strong and really weak at the same time. It's hilarious. Great, I love this stuff. This bit, it's fun for, like, a cutaway joke, but, like, a whole channel based on it, it's bad. Yeah. Okay, so I was like, I need to put my hair up, it's getting in my way, and then I realized that Micro found this for me about how I said that nobody looks good in a man bun, so I was like, to prove past R&D, guess what? You, my friend, look good in a man bun. So, I'm gonna man bun my hair up with its little purple frill. No, I don't. Oh my goodness, that is terrible. My hair is so long. Maybe. That was a mess. I did it wrong. I just was like, I'm not used to doing a bun on the top of my head. They usually put it on the back, so that I can wear a baseball cap at work. There we go. We're getting there. There we go. There's a good man bun right there, hopefully. But yes, at some point or another, Micro found a video of me saying that nobody looks good in a man bun. And he hasn't clipped it so that he can share it. There we go. Look at that. Look at that man bun goodness. There's only a tiny bit. There's a lot of hair that I missed. Look at this nonsense. I'm terrible at my one job, which is to put my hair up. No, I think I got it. It's good. It's good. We got there. Man bun and polo. I still don't have a polo, so I'm gonna stick with that one. Okay, more Doomcock. Now that we've messed around with my hair enough.
In this case, Star Wars. An article recently appeared on, of all things, a rag that used to be a prestigious journal, falsely named Scientific American, the single most ridiculous article I think I've ever read, an article titled, "Why the Term Jedi is Problematic for Describing Programs that Promote Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion."
Holy crap! If ever a title was coated in soy, it's that one.
Like, again, I feel like I would laugh at this. Like, I legit would laugh at this. It's like, I think Micah was right. Like, this would be a funny cutaway joke if I was like in the audience. Like, this, it's a cute little cutaway. But he's gonna do this the whole time. Like, this is a cute little, like, it's a bad joke, but like, I get that you're trying to make a joke, which is good, I guess. I don't know. So he has a puppet. He does. He's got a puppet wearing what are the fez with the what's that? Is that the little crest with a star in it? Fuck, Masons? Yeah, right. Freemasons symbol. I think that's what they are on it. So yeah, yeah, he is running the joke into.
The word Jedi is problematic? Since when?
Since the so-called Scientific American decided to abandon writing about science and turn their rag over to an SJW opinion piece, Harvey.
So, I think we were discussing earlier about how Scientific American is probably not all that scientific anymore. Fair enough. I think, I don't, like I said, I haven't read it in forever, so what do I know? I'm gonna lean towards the, again, it's like a, it's going to be this, like, it's an opinion piece, right? It's an opinion piece. Maybe Scientific American might not be the best place for it. It's an opinion piece on literature. It's not what the title said. It's also not what the title said. Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And I think Micah actually brings up a good point that I've kind of missed, that it doesn't say that the word Jedi is problematic in and of itself, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with Jedi. So okay, there's like, so much context, because context got left out. So as the article explains, and I'll look it up here in a second. As the article explains, the term Jedi, not from the movies, but based on the movies, is a new term that has been. Why did I get a photo from you? That is, the store has not been requested for our family salted butter. Sorry, I'm trying to get my food. Land O'Lakes, please get me my food. Sorry, what about butter? There's no butter, apparently. Like, the store that I shop at has no butter. There's no butter. It's like socialism. Sorry. There's no butter. Like socialism. I just want butter. That's all. That's all I want is butter. Just give me butter. Sorry, I'll stop now. So the word Jedi, I'm gonna pull up the article. I'm just very distracted. I'm gonna pull up the thing. The word Jedi here doesn't actually, it is related to to the Star Wars Jedi, but it's also, why are you sending? Stop sending me things. It's also related to STEM. So people have been using the word Jedi as like a replacement for STEM. Problematic. As a replacement for STEM, so that STEM isn't the word that's like always used, right? Lauren canceled. So we'll look at the article. Here it is. Yeah. And I think there it is. Download. See if I can get a better picture here. Oh, that's not the one. Sorry, guys. Technical issues. That's also not the one. All that, like, one of these days, I'm gonna, like, I have been doing. You feel like that after all the time that I've been doing this, I'm better at it, but I'm really not. Over there we go. Okay. Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equality, diversity, and inclusion, right? So Jedi here is an acronym for like, it's a replacement acronym for STEM, I think, was what kind of the what was happening. And instead of STEM, we'll look at that article, they use the word Jedi. So the acronym Jedi has become a popular term for branding academic committees and labeling STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine initiatives focused on social justice issues used in this context. Jedi stands for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So I guess, sorry, not to replace STEM, but to kind of work along with STEM as like a STEM that focuses on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. All things that are good to focus on. Is it a bad term? I don't know. Like, I feel like scientists are nerds. Fucking duh, right? Scientists are nerds. And it's not surprising that they came up with an acronym like this. It's cool. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog gene, or whatever the fuck it's called, or the Pikachu thingamabob that's also a thing. Like there's like a Hogwarts dragon thing, right? Because at the end of the day, scientists are nerds, and they want to name things after nerdy things, and that's okay. Took 5 people to write this? Probably. It seems like it. So the article really focuses on the fact that Jedi are not necessarily the like super good guys that they are in the movies. Sure, we can listen to those arguments. Are they valid? I don't know. It's a fiction. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. I think does this argument convince you answer, right? Like, it's not. It's literature. There really is no right or wrong. It's really, I know some opinions are kind of better than other when it comes to critical analysis of literature, but that's all it is. It's not really something that you can say that it's good or bad. Or not, sorry, that's like 100% a thing or not. So, this is great. In recent years, this acronym has been employed by a growing number of prominent institutions and organizations, including the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. At first glance, Jedi may simply appear to be an elegant way to explicit build justice into the more common formula of DEI, an abbreviation for diversity, equity, and inclusion, productively shifting our ethical focus in the process. Jedi has this important affordness, but also inherits another non-notable set of meanings. It shares a name with a superheroic protagonist from the science fiction Star Wars franchise, the Jedi. Within the narrative, the world of Star Wars, to be a member of the Jedi seemingly to be a paragon of goodness, a principled guardian of order, protector of the innocent. This set of pop culture associations is one that the Jedi Initiative and advocacy explicitly allude to. So, I mean, okay. I don't know. So I want to kind of stop even there. Like, I don't know if even I don't know how much I'm biased about, but like, how much do Jedi in the Star Wars universe or a paragon of good is questionable? Like, I don't know. From watching all the Star Wars, I don't know if Jedi are like, are they the heroes of Star Wars? Yes. Are they the paragon of goodness? It's a little iffy. There's a lot. There's a lot of ethical, and without even needing to read this article, there's a lot of iffy things that the Jedi kind of do in the movies and stuff. Like it's very iffy. And I think that that's okay. Like, your heroes don't need to be the paragon of goodness. I think this is both a conflation, probably Scientific American, the authors of this article, and Doomcock, that they feel like the heroes need to be this paragon of goodness. Like, they cannot be flawed in any way. And if you approach literature that way, one, it's boring. Two, like, you're gonna be wrong. People are multifaceted. Hey, look at me using big words. Multifaceted, and like, they're not going to be just this one thing. They're not just going to be paragons of goodness. They're not going to be, they shouldn't be, because that's bad literature. They're like, they should be complex and might have some flaws. I think the way that it just on its own, the way that the Jedi kind of promote this, like, idea that you just need to, like, squish down your emotions and not have any, in and of itself, is like an iffy way to, like, promote a healthy mental state, which we find out later when with Anakin Skywalker. Like, I think even, like, the movie is very much so aware of, like, well, it didn't work out so well to be like, hey, don't have emotions. And if you, God, look at me, fucking literatizing Star Wars. If you look at that compared to, like, the original Star Wars prequel movies, like, the prequel movies very much were like, you need to keep your emotions under control. You need to, like, push them down. Don't listen to be a man. I don't know if they'd be a man, but, like, squish them down. Kind of ignore your emotions. Be all mind and soul. No emotions. And that gives us Darth Vader. That gives us Skywalker. That turns into Darth Vader. In the next movies, you have Anakin Skywalker, who is who starts off, doesn't start off like that, but starts off his lesson like that. Like, one of the big lessons that Yoda tries to teach Luke, is you need to suppress your emotions. That's the whole scene in Dagobah where he is having a hard time focusing because he's working with friends, and eventually he turns around and betrays this, like, this rule set that he had to be unemotional, right? He betrays that to go save his friends. And I think the ending is ambiguous about whether that was a good thing or not. On the one hand, he did end up, like, saving his friends and helping his friends. Like, that in and of itself was a good thing. But according to Yoda, that was a bad thing, and I don't think you're supposed to I don't think you're supposed to have a very clear answer about, like, whether that was heroic or, like, how much of a good thing that was. Like, it's questionable. But yeah, like, he goes against it, and I think even by the end of the trilogy, he kind of is a very different kind of Jedi, where he's a much more emotional Jedi, where he does go by his emotions. He doesn't just push down, like, and actually that is, I should say, that is the point of the last movie of Return of the Jedi, is that he does better than his master. He does better than Obi-Wan, because he actually manages to save Anakin where Obi-Wan failed. I think part of that is that because he did actually was in tune with his emotions and was in tune with that. So there you go. I think even the movie in and of itself questions the Jedi and the Jedi way, and that's okay. It was a really long way of saying that. There's no sure. I'm not sure there is a good side in Star Wars. That's also good. Like, I think there's a protagonist side, and, well, again, the fascist thing. There's very much a very fascist overtone to the Empire. I think there's very much so a fascist side to the Empire. I think there's nuances to it. Rogue One kind of did a lot of that, where what's his face in Rogue One? protagonist, not the lady protagonist, the male protagonist, robot, were like, they were working for the rebels, right? Like they were very much so on the good side of the rebellion, but like he was kind of he was real sketchy. Like he did some sketchy shit. Like I think right at the beginning he like didn't he betray like his buddy at the beginning, and like there was like there was definitely a lot of sketchiness in like what was going on. I think that was meant to portray that like even the good side has some sketchiness to it, even though they're like the good guys and they are the rebellion and what. Reject Force, Return to Porg. So there's definitely like I don't think the movies explicitly make the Jedi as the paragons of goodness. I think that they do in a very superficial way, in a very like good guys bad, like very superficially they do, right? Luke wears white, Darth Vader wears black. At the end, Luke and Vader wear black together. It's great. Right, like there's very obvious like good and bad kind of overtones to it, but that's, I think, not gonna lie, for the chill, like a lot of those things happen in a lot of movies where there's like a very like basic like good and bad at the top, and then as you actually like watch and understand and analyze film, literature, whatever, you start to see that like the good side isn't always 100% good and the bad side isn't always 100% bad. Like at the like it's a bit of both, and that's okay because people are complex and they're multifaceted and they're just not all good and all bad all the time. I don't even remember what I'm talking about. That's Star Wars. So yeah, I don't think the movies. I think the movies are pretty blatant about the fact that the Jedis aren't good. I think Scientific America kind of missed that. I'm very sure Doomcock missed that. And yeah, we can listen a little bit more about Doomcock in this.
My sources called this article to my attention and indicated that this ludicrous propaganda hit piece is just the first step in an upcoming campaign to attack Star Wars as problematic.
Okay. So from that, we go to conspiracy theorists. So the one of the fun things, and Doomcock is very much so a proponent of it. Like his videos very much so a proponent of like conspiracy theorists and like the media way, right? He's 100% like Kathleen Kennedy is destroying Star Wars. If you don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is, she's the something director of the new Star Wars movie, something like that. I don't know. But the woke, the anti-woke people really hate because of reasons. I didn't even get. Like he's very much so like a conspiracy theorist in the way that like Kathleen Kennedy is doing all this. There's all this like Kathleen Kennedy is both being kicked out and running everything about Star Wars all the time. It's great. It's fantastic. And so he very much so has the same attitude here, where he's like, this is the first step in destroying Star Wars. It's not, buddy. This isn't a concerted effort. It's nerds talking about nerdy shit. Whether you agree with it or not, it's nerds talking about nerdy shit. It's nerd infighting. I don't like nerd infighting is a thing. Like fucking here, Dark Vision is overpowered. There, fucking just started a war somewhere about nerd infighting about D&D. Rogues are not that cool. There, I just started another fucking D&D infighting. Like, you know, like the Jesus Christ, nerds fight over everything. It's fine. It's just nerd infighting, and that's like, and it's enjoyable because a lot of it is like the shit's not real. And people are gonna sit there and argue about it. There's so much of this, and it's not a big conspiracy. It's just nerd infighting. What is? Get over yourself. You're not fighting a war, buddy. You're just some guy where you're some dumbass guy wearing a stupid mask on the internet. It's fine. Dark Vision isn't. See, Dark Vision isn't overpowered. Fucking started that shit right away.
Looks like the idiotic madness of cancel culture has come for our galaxy far, far away at last. But before I get to what my source said about this coming campaign...
Oh, about this. Oh, your source said something about this campaign. Okay. I have Doom Face. You really have. So the source has nothing. So again, the funny, finally coming after Star Wars, which I really find hilarious because these are the same people. Doomcock, I guarantee without looking at his channel page that he's got fucking 100 videos about the Force, not the Force Awakens. So once it came out of the Return of the Jedi, no, Last Jedi, right? That's the one that everyone hates. The Last Jedi. I bet he's got like 100 videos of The Last Jedi and how awful it is and how SJWs were trying to attack it. So SJWs have been trying to attack Star Wars for like 6-7 years now. Nothing has happened because fucking Disney doesn't give a fuck. Like, get over yourself. You're not fighting a war
against Star Wars. You should first know what this sad, twisted little article actually says. Quote, the acronym Jedi...
I'm going to skip this because I actually want to find out what its source. What does your source say? What does it say?
Even avoid the acronym Jedi entirely. Below, we outline 5 reasons why.
Oh, God. I can't wait to hear this bullshit.
Turn off your bullshit detector if you have one at home, gang. At this level of bullshit, the siren going off from a bullshit meter spiking in the red may damage your hearing.
Buddy, it's not that... Okay, buddy. Not that big of a deal. Calm down. I really want to know what... Okay. You have to say, I'm really curious.
Friends, the Jedi are problematic because they are prone to white saviorism.
Right. Tell that to Mace Windu.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back because God, I don't even know what you said, but I'm sure you said something. Oh no!
Sipping their fair trade tea, wearing a necklace made from recycled milk cartons that they bought at Lilith Fair. Yes, my friends, the Jedi are problematic because they are prone to white saviorism.
Right. Tell that to Mace Windu. Tell that to all the other non-white, non-human Jedi that are in the ranks. Have these clowns ever watched Star Wars?
I don't know.
Okay, so what is white saviorism? White saviorism. Oh, God, you're so fucking stupid. Okay, so white saviorism. Okay, white saviorism is it's done in movies quite a bit, and it's annoying, especially like it's really annoying thing to do. A lot of like feel good school movies kind of do this a lot. I'm trying to remember. What was the one that just happened? The one about NASA. There was a NASA one. Hidden Figures? Was that the one? I think that was the one. I think that's what it was called. Hidden Figures. I watched it a bit ago. It's about the women who did a bunch of the calculations for NASA using one of the IBM's like first computery thingies. And they were like figured out how to fucking program it and do calculations on it. One of the not my favorite scenes, but one of the scenes that I think most encapsulates white saviorism in that movie is because they're in NASA in like whatever the 50s, 60s. They are trying to everything's segregated, so all these women need to, if they want to use the bathroom, need to like, walk like halfway across campus to go to the bathroom because there is no black bathroom in their building. The closest black bathroom is like all the way across campus, and so they end up being late for like meetings and things. And it's a bit of a problem to have the women in charge of making calculations about rockets not being present for meetings about rockets, right? So it's a bit of a problem. And the solution for it is the main white character shows up and like takes down the sign that says whites only on the bathroom. And so this is white saviorism. This is when like the problems of a minority group is solved by a white person. It applies in the real world. It's called white saviorism in the real world because that's usually whites saving, saving minority groups, like ethnic groups, right? Well, blacks, Latinos. See that a lot in a lot of feel-good high school movies. Have this plot line where you have a classroom of troubled children who can't get it together, and then some white lady shows up and teaches them the value of education. And it happens a lot. It's a trope. It's annoying and stupid, and nobody really likes it besides white people because they like to feel like the saviors of things. And it's annoying. But generally the trope is the group in the majority group shows up and saves up the minority. White saviorism really means that. And so when the article is pointing at it in the Jedi, it's really pointing at it in this like idea of the majority group, the group in power are the ones who are saving the minority group, the group without power. It's called white saviorism because it happens in our world that way. In the Jedi's world, it probably wouldn't be called that, but it's a term that we have. End of the day, the Jedi, the ones in power, are the ones showing up to save those without power. And it promotes this idea that you need to rely on the people in power. If you're a minority group or you're a minority, you need to rely on the people in power to save you. And that's a bit of a problem because again, in the real world, it has not so good consequences where like white people feel like they're the ones who can save minorities, and again, not they're literally called. So in the real world, that's what it's called. But the problem really is that we shouldn't be relying on the people in power to save us or to save minority group. Just because whatever this guy's the guy who Samuel L. Jackson plays the character, like just because he's black doesn't mean like the idea is still there that you have the group in power is saving the group not in power, like they're the ones in charge of saving the group. But Doomcock is like, you said white, he's not white. Oh, checkmate, atheist, or like checkmate, woke scolds, whatever it's called. Mace Windu, thank you. But the point is still there. It's still the Jedi are in power, showing up to save the people who aren't in power. And that in and of itself just creates this reliance on like you have to rely on the people in power to save you, and it's a bit problematic because the people in power don't necessarily have your interest in mind, which is the problem. You can't remember because he dies by being thrown out a window. Probably Mace Windu. I do know he's got a purple lightsaber, and I love that for him, and I want. That's it. Okay, we'll listen to a little bit more. I think I'm getting close to the end of the beer, and this show's been going on for a bit, but we're almost there.
But it seems unlikely. After all, is Ahsoka toxically masculine? Is Princess Leia, who it turns out is also strong in the Force? Is Mara Jade, who turns out is a Force user too? And what is toxically masculine about blowing up the Death Star, about saving entire planets from destruction? Why is that toxic, exactly?
I don't remember what they said about toxic. Probably something. My guess is that before The Force Awakens, there's been very few prominent female Jedi. Very few prominent female Jedi. That would be my guess. Even in this scene, right? When did they talk about tox? They might have talked about it in the article, and I missed that because I skipped ahead. That's my guess. Is they talked about toxic masculinity? I don't know. I don't remember. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's probably some amount of toxic masculinity. My guess is just because of the amount of screen time that is given to, especially in the first 6 movies, how many more prominent male Jedi there are who are again the saviors, that are given screen time versus female Jedis. That's a thing that just happens. Those movies, probably due to the times, and that's okay. Like they seem to be trying to fix that later on with some of the later Jedi, but that's okay. Like it's okay to point out that there are not enough female Jedis. I know that there's more now. It was in the show, and then it was in the Mandalorian where they had that one alien female Jedi who was with the two yellow lightsabers. She's awesome. But I'm sure that's what he's talking.
Because Force was involved? Well, sadly for all you little snowflakes out there.
Oh my God, he's still using the word snowflake. It's 2022, my friend. Get a new joke. No.
Sometimes the world isn't a very nice place.
I'm still okay. Fair. Tell me about what your source says. I want to know.
To be a Jedi, the Force must be with you. And if there's anything these gray, joyless SJW drones hate more than anything else, it's talented people. People who excel in what...
Oh, no. Oh, I remember this bit. It was a bit of ableism. I remember now.
Reactionary values and assumptions.
What the hell is this crap I'm hearing? An exclusionary cult?
Yes, Harvey.
Yeah.
It's exclusionary because, you see, you have to have talent to be...
No! Oh, you didn't even read the... Okay. No, I'm a little pissed. Okay, it's exclusionary cult. So it's an exclusionary cult because the only people that led into the cult, that is the Jedi, is people with high midichlorians. Like, they very, very specifically say that in the prequels. Like, you have to have whatever amounts of midichlorians. Like, and not everybody who... and not everyone in the world is like has the Force. Like, it's very much so not about how hard you work to get into Jedi Temple, okay? Or to become a Jedi, right? It's not at all about how hard. Like, you can't work hard into becoming a Jedi, into being found by the Jedi. You can work hard into like once you've been whatever picked to be a Padawan, then you can work hard to be a better Jedi. But to actually become a Jedi or even be available to be selected, you have to have a certain amount of midichlorians, or whatever the sciencey things is that Star Wars said, right? You have to have a certain amount of midichlorians, and then you can be selected. So it's really 100% not about hard work to become a Jedi or to get started. Like, afterwards, it is about hard work, but not the first one. And I'm gonna cultural legacy, corporate capital. That's not it. Gosh, I don't even remember where it was. I know that the reason that I'm annoyed is because at the end of the day, like, he's absolutely either didn't read it or didn't bother to read it the right way. Like, he is intentionally misconstruing what the article says. Find the part in the article where it says it because it's great. Saviorism, eugenic ones. Okay, here we go. We're gonna switch over to this, but I think I found that is it. Okay, the Jedi are inappropriate mascot for social justice. Although they are ostensibly heroes within the Star Wars universe, the Jedi are inappropriate symbols for justice work. They are a religious order of intergalactic police monks prone to white saviorism and toxic masculinity approaches to conflict resolution, violent duels with phallic lightsabers. Oh, you're not wrong. Gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks, etc. The Jedi are also an exclusionary cult. There we go. Members to which is partly predicated on the possession of heightened psychic and physical abilities. Force sensitive, strikingly force-wielding talents are narratively explained in Star Wars, not merely in spiritual terms, but also in ableist and eugenic ones. These supernatural powers are naturalized as biological hereditary attributes. So it is that the Force potential is framed as a dynastic property of noble bloodlines. For example, the Skywalker dynasty. The Force disparities are rendered innate physical properties, measurable via midichlorian counts, and not unlike a Force genetics test, and augmentable via humanoid engineering. Heroic Jedi are thus emblems for a host of dangerous reactionary values and assumptions, sending the message that justice work is akin to cosplay. Bad enough dressing up in initiatives that symbolic garb in a symbolic garb of the Jedi is some of that's a little hyperbolic. Fine. Either way, they're very much so talking about the fact that it's not about hard work. That it's literally says that, and I think the films kind of say that, and I don't think the films maybe intentionally meant to say that, but they kind of say that you become a Jedi not by hard work, but by being born into like a dynasty, like Skywalker dynasty, right? It's not that people work hard to become Jedis. It's that they are born to be Jedis, and that's like it is exclusionary in that way, because not everybody could like you can want to be a Jedi as much as you want, but you're never going to get there with hard work alone. You have to be born into it. I don't know where this man, Eggshell Man, Egg Carton Man, there we go. Egg Carton Man gets his idea that that's not in Star Wars universe, because it really is.
A Jedi. The Force must be with you. And if there's anything these gray, joyless SJW drones hate more than anything else, it's talented people. People who excel in one way or another, because excellence is considered racist in this new world order. Many of these woke wankers have no hope.
Oh God, you are so hyperbolic. Like you really, it's not a new. Oh God, so hyperbolic. It's okay, buddy. Someone criticized Star Wars. It's Doomcock, my friend, my compatriot, my comrade. It's okay. Like let it go. It's just a movie. It's okay. Like I love me some Star Wars. It's okay to be critical of the things that you like. It's not that like God, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal that a single magazine went out there and criticized your space month. It's okay. Not a world order. It really is that there are some things that are worth criticizing. Any good media, any good literature out there can be criticized. And there is not a single piece of literature out there that cannot be criticized. Like, okay, you really don't have to simp for Star Wars this hard. Okay, so with that said, I have finished my beer. I am, I think, all done with talking about Doomcock. So, we're going to end things there. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to give myself some homework right now. And to sit down and set up next week's stream so that I don't even pretend like I'm not going to do it next week. So that I can do it next week. I will promise to try to work on Eric DeBay's things on my loves and whatnots. Thank you for being here. If you want to see more of my junk and stuff, you should. If you want to see me on stream more often, go check out Rolling Left. Haha, I know. Go check out Rolling Left on Twitch, where I will be DMing on 3 days from now, right? 3 days from now. 2 days from now on Tuesday evening. I will be DMing my own campaign, and on Saturday, hopefully, we'll be playing in Christiosity's campaign. You can also check out Christy Winters' campaign on that channel, but if you want my nonsense, Tuesday and Saturdays are the days that I am there doing whatever it is that I do. If you enjoy D&D and all that good stuff. Otherwise, keep an eye on the channel for more Eric DeBay nonsense, more of this nonsense. And thank you all for being here. I will see you all next.